F1 news is like London buses. You wait a week for something to happen and then two industry-shaking stories drop at once. One is obviously the news surrounding Adrian Newey that we have covered in a separate video already, but then the other one has some pretty hefty implications for the driver market and potentially pushes some drivers into a corner and others out of the sport entirely. Truly, the silly season is casting a larger dark cloud on some drivers more than others, and Niko Hulkenburg has risen above that like a phoenix out of the ashes to claim a seat at the new Audi project, currently Kick Sauber, from 2025 onwards. So just who is this bad for? Clearly there are plenty of winners and losers to be had from yet another seat being secured, but who does this impact the most? Want to know what the consequences of Niko Hulkenburg's move to Audi will be? Some of the drivers we talk about are quite frankly screwed, but some of them may not be the ones you expect. So let's make sure we're on the same page here. It's been confirmed soon after he announced his departure from Haas that Niko Hulkenburg will be joining Audi from 2025 onwards on a long-term deal, truly crowning off the German driver's redemption arc ever since being done dirty by Renault, who left him out of the sport back in 2020. Following a season of super sub appearances and 18 months of steady hands, consistent performances, and convincingly eviscerating the ball of anger Kevin Magnussen at Haas, Niko has proven once and for all that he is still the driver the grid expected him to be all the way back in 2010. While the race win still eludes him and he has claimed Andre de Cesaris's unsavory record of most races without reaching the top step, it's clear that Niko is the type of consistent, steady driver that a team can reliably build around, while also having a perhaps more lightning in a bottle driver next to him, though in regards to who that will be, we will discuss later on. In a statement announcing the move, the 36-year-old said, "The prospect of competing for Audi is something very special. When a German manufacturer enters Formula One with such determination, it's a unique opportunity. To represent the factory team of such a car brand with a power unit made in Germany is a great honor for me." It seems like an absolute match made in heaven, and one that doesn't hold any signs of compromise on either side. For Niko, he gets to represent his country and team at the same time, being the experienced figurehead of the team and perhaps be in an immediately better position than the one he's leaving. While Sauber and Haas haven't been too far apart in recent seasons, the fact that Audi are a works team will theoretically give them an immediate advantage over the Ferrari customer team, especially if Audi manages to nail a decent power unit right out the gates. The benefits for Audi? Well, it seems to us that they are trying to emulate the success seen at another team in recent years by bringing in an experienced German driver with wise head and steady hands. We are of course talking about Sebastian Vettel and his stint at Aston Martin, and how he was crucial to building the foundations on which the team are currently reaping the rewards with Fernando Alonso. Audi will be looking to use Niko's combination of steady consistency and experience in the sport, and according to Audi chief executive Andreas Seidel, it's been something in the works for some time, with Andreas saying, "We are very pleased to welcome Niko back here in Hinwil from 2025 and to compete with him in Formula One. With his speed, his experience, and his commitment to teamwork, he will be an important part of the transformation of our team and of Audi's F1 project. Right from the start, there was great mutual interest in building something long-term together. Niko is a strong personality, and his input on a professional and personal level will help us make progress both in the development of the car and in building up the team." So, one seat for the Audi project has now been filled, which now means that, assuming Lance doesn't decide he's bored, half of the available seats for 2025 are now secured, with some of those like Hulkenburg, whose contract extends all the way into the new regulations. The vast majority of the open seats lay towards the back of the grid, or even worse, at Alpine. With McLaren, Ferrari, and presumably Aston Martin being confirmed, Red Bull being conditionally confirmed, and Mercedes having one seat with a reserved for Antonelli sign on it, the second Audi seat now stands as one of the best seats with a long-term option left. Merc isn't looking long-term as it stands, and the drivers next to Alonso and Verstappen don't look like they'll be changing anytime soon. So who then will get the opportunity to plant themselves at Audi and be part of this new project? And who will be replacing Hulkenburg at Haas? Let's get the latter of those out of the way first. It's currently unknown as to whether Haas will continue their relationship with Kevin Magnussen, who, while a veteran of the team, has been dropped before and has been convincingly second best ever since Niko joined the team. With a new direction for Haas under new team principal Ayo Komatsu and K-Mag being a remnant from a bygone era, we may see both seats at Haas up for grabs. It's widely believed the Ferrari youngster and Jeddah replacement for Carlos Sainz, Oliver Behrman, will get the call up to the Ferrari-powered team to give him some more time to gain some experience experience in Formula 1 and potentially prove himself to be Lewis Hamilton's replacement once the 7-time champion steps back from the sport. The other seat is an unknown entity. It may well stay as Magnussen's, as having an experienced driver next to Behrman will provide the perfect litmus test for the young driver. However, it may also be another driver that makes a dash from their own team to secure a seat at the pseudo-American team, with it especially being rumoured that the Alpine drivers are looking for a way out. However, whether the team would want to take them on is another issue entirely. We doubt Haas would make the same mistake of 2 rookies again, but stranger things have happened. If I were Haas, I would inquire into other experienced drivers' plans, such as the possibility of the soon-to-be-available Valtteri Bottas, who may well be the driver that Hulkenburg replaces at Sauber, and bring in a more consistent driver to partner up with the exciting Behrman. As for who will partner up alongside Niko Hulkenburg, there are quite a few options on the table, including the drivers already at the team, with Bottas being an experienced driver at a Constructors' Championship winning team, and Zhou, a driver who has shown glimpses of legitimate talent and is a massive asset for both F1 and the team, with his home audience from the most populous country represented in the sport. The other driver that has been heavily linked with Audi is Carlos Sainz, with the Spanish driver receiving the boot from Ferrari, something that has been heavily questioned given how well he has performed both this season and throughout his career, and being available starting 2025. A lineup of Hulkenburg and Sainz would immediately make Audi one of the stronger driver pairings in the sport, with a driver approaching his prime with massive experience of his own and an older driver who is still capable of consistently delivering results and providing crucial insights as to where to improve the team. Sainz will now have to act quickly though if he wants to secure a seat at Audi, and his hesitancy may cost him the seat, as now that Audi has secured a safe pick in Niko Hulkenburg, Audi may be far more likely than before to go with a slightly riskier or less experienced young driver to place next to him. What I'm about to say is something that may shock some of you and will likely get us some heat in the comments. I don't want it to be Carlos Sainz. Yes, the soon-to-be ex-Ferrari driver is the most talented available, and he has family ties to Audi. He'd likely be great for them. However, there's another driver that I'd rather get the seat, and that is Théo Pourchaire. Pourchaire, the current F2 champion, is a Sauber driver, and for the majority of the time since signing, it has been a question of when, not if, he gets an F1 seat. A prodigious talent with a real knack for adapting quickly, Pourchaire made one of the most impressive IndyCar debuts for quite some time, securing 11th place from 22nd on the grid on the weekend he was called up to replace the injured David Malukas, while also securing the trophy for most overtakes of the weekend. This year lacked rookies in F1, something epitomized by the buzz created by the aforementioned Behrman, and Sauber has the opportunity to bring in one of the most exciting young talents who has done everything that they have asked of him. The F2 champion is deserving of a seat in F1, and his heroics over in Indy demonstrated his ability to be a great young investment into the future for the Audi project. At the very least, if Sainz does end up being the man to start the Audi project alongside Hulkenburg, which again would be an immediately stronger lineup and perhaps the best one to get the team up and running, Sauber should at least try and position Pourchaire with another team on the grid in order to get him ready to join the big boys at the main team when Audi will hope to be playing in the higher positions, likely after Hulkenberg's retirement. Whether that's getting tractor experience at Alpine, providing a solid option for Haas, or giving Williams a replacement for Sargent, who finished below Pourchaire in the junior formulas, Pourchaire can be the man for the future that Hulkenberg will help Audi build. But obviously that's just my opinion. Let us know yours in the comments below. I'm not saying that Sainz and Hulkenburg wouldn't be the best pairing to start with, I just think that Pourchaire deserves a route into Formula 1, especially after doing all he has done for the Sauber name.